Hello folks, Sleepless Night here, back after another really long break. I am planning to get some videos out there, as I said before. Any of you watching my Battlefront 2 video a couple of months ago, I'm planning to get some videos out there, Crackdown 3 and most especially Red Dead Redemption 2. I just can't, I'm so psyched for that game. But at the moment we're playing Human Fall Flat, which is a really, really cool game. It's the first game in quite a long time, actually, that I've gotten all my achievements for. There you go, 47 out of so. But it's a really, really fun physics game. You know, you play online co-op, you can play couch co-op. I love couch co-op games. I fear they're going the way of the dodo, but I just love them. You know, get your mates round or whatever. And this is really, really, really fun game to play two-player. But what I'm going to do here, this is for the Speedrun Achievement, and I'm specifically doing this for console, specifically for Xbox One, because there are a lot of videos out there by PC users, and the thing is that I find the functionality of a PC, as of course PC users do, is just much higher than that of a console. So, you know, it's just kind of, there are a lot of things they do that are kind of difficult to do with a controller. At least they are for me. You know, I'm an old school gamer. I started with keyboards and things when there weren't consoles really, apart from the old Atari things, if you want to take a guess at my age from that. So this is a speed run through, but I'm going to do it without doing the swing climb, because the swing climb, it can like cut most of these levels in half. The time that it takes to do these levels, it'll cut them in half. But some people have a little bit of difficulty with swing climb. It's a little bit of a problem for some people. So I'm not going to carry out any really sort of major mistakes unless I make the same one over and over again. I have done this through a few times. At a guess, I'd say it'll probably take about 30 minutes, but this is just speed running. I've tried to find ways. I haven't spent too much time doing it, so there might be shorter ways, but I've tried to find ways to do it reasonably quickly for you to get your achievement for speedrun doing it all in one sitting. You know, you can pause it as many times as you like for your speedrun achievement. What you can't do is exit to the menu. So, you know, here's my guy. Give him I haven't given him a name. Give him a name if that makes it easier for you. I find it just makes it harder to let these guys go. I've dressed him like a sperm for you guys, especially for this occasion. I'm not really sure what significance this is. Now, this is actually the first level of the game. It's ridiculously easy, but for some reason, trying to take this little shortcut really messes with me sometimes, and ooh, look at that, I did it that time, but sometimes I probably only make that jump about half the time. The weird thing about it is the half of the time that I do make it, sometimes I just like fly way past it and even land on my feet. I don't even... And then other times, like I guess maybe half the time, maybe even as much as 60% of the time, I just miss that jump altogether and just don't even make contact with the wall. I just fall into infinity. I don't know why that is. But here we are, falling to the next level. I don't know how long that took. You know, there's like a speed counter thing. All these PC guys have these countdown things. It's too much. Who can spend that amount of time on a game? I think, you know, when I'm making my... Whoa, don't slide off the edge there. When I'm making my game videos, I think I'm sort of making them for the people that can't really afford tons of consoles and to upgrade their PC every 6 months for the highest functionality. Now, there is a way to do this level where you go around that corner there that I'm looking at and you just swing around the corner, but I'll try and explain a little bit more about why I'm not doing that as I go further along this level. Climbing over this train is sometimes a bit of a pain. You know, I've made a mess of it a few times and it can be a little bit difficult, but if you just... There you go. Up on the roof there. And then across to this thing. Then you kind of... Oops. You kind of need to limbo through this little crack here. What? I just pressed the X button now, so he's just collapsed in a heap on the floor. You kind of need to limbo under that, and then we'll just jump across here like that. So I'm trying to avoid shortcuts that are too difficult. There are some of them that you can do, but frankly, it takes so much time to perfect them, it's just not worth it. But these ones, so far, they're fairly easy. There are some later on that will come a bit tricky. Now, the other route that I was talking about, if you go around that way, you can just swing around the steps and come up here. But then you've got to make it really quick, you've got to kind of go under the exit. Now, if you haven't played this game a lot, you probably won't have realised this, but you can actually sometimes get the exit without actually going through the exit. But it's a little bit tricky to know exactly where to fall through. in order to do that. So I'm not going to do that. Whee! Fall, sperm guy. It's all on you. Boosh. Ooh. Face plant. Up we get. Right, so just quick as you like, move this box. You know, no rush. Microwave generation and all that, you know. You're in too much of a hurry, man. And then this, you need to kind of just clamber over there. That cuts out like that whole room there. Jump for the train thing here. Right, this is a little bit tricky sometimes. You want to climb up on this thing and then whoop. Yeah, you see, standing on walls when you've got this console thing is not... Oops. Now you see what I've done there is I've missed that a little bit. So now I'm going to have to... You can just drop, but there. See, now I think I've dropped through there without touching that little platform outside the door before, and I've got it. But I tried it earlier today, and it didn't work. So that's what I say. It's sometimes a little bit tricky to know, oh, what you've got to hit. Oh, what you've not got to hit. Oh, man, this guy's got to be so brain dead. This is fairly straightforward. There aren't really any major shortcuts in this level. Oh, got an itch. Sorry, I had to stop there. It was my face, you know, itching my face, scratching my face. Don't let your imagination run away with you there. Oh, man, that's unpleasant. Oh, no. Come on, sperm guy. Climb for your life. Whoosh. Boosh. I really feel these falls sometimes, you know, especially when he falls on like a... Oops. When he falls on like a metal bar or something, you get that... Ooh, that really looks like it hurts. I feel like maybe this guy's gone to the plastic surgeon and said, you know, look, all that falling from the sky, look at it, it's made my legs shorter. I mean, when I walk, I look like a penguin. I'm never going to get laid now, and I'm frankly sick of breaking my nose and my teeth, so can you just, like, remove all of that stuff and just make it easier for me to do my job, you know? But, you know, he's still got to see, I don't know, unless he, like, uses the force or something, and you figure if he could use the force, he probably wouldn't be arsing about climbing this way. He'd be flipping all over stuff and what have you. Pull a train. You get the other side, you know, but it's got some momentum, and it doesn't need to be right up against the wall. You just got to be able to reach it. So yeah, little egghead sperm guy here. He's got a... Oh, up you get. There we go. He's had all his facial features removed, because frankly he's broken them all and it's probably just like a bag of mush now. You notice I keep my arms out a lot when I'm doing this, and I keep the triggers pulled in. That's not necessary for a lot of these, but ooh, you see, if you do that because you're talking to people and you're making a video, you just take your eye off the ball for a second. See, I could have made that jump easy. I usually just jump it, but just in case I'm not concentrating and I miss, I've got the little sticky hands all fired up. Boosh. So you don't need to jump up there the time you just turn around. Go back with this ridiculous, like, you know, some sort of Spider-Man. He can stick to the walls and he can swing to a certain degree. He can't, like, swing. I feel like if there was a spider penguin, like, this would be the guy, you know? There's a spider penguin. Maybe we'll make him a spider penguin suit. Whoosh, bush. There you go. Up you go. There you go, Bob. Why is it always Bob? It's a pretty cool sort of go-to blob guy name, that, isn't it? Makes me kind of feel sorry for guys called Bob. You know, it's a go-to name, isn't it, for a guy that you kind of control, or you know, some. You don't have to listen to my rantings. You can just mute this if you want. But I will continue to rant, so, you know. If you're not down with it, man, just turn off the sound. Yeah, so I figured he's had his features removed. This is Bob's story. Had his features removed because of all this. Boosh. He just smashed them all into mush. But he he has to be able to see, so he's got probably, like those perforated things, you see, perforated eye socket things that, you know, they have on the mascots you see at theme parks and stuff. Right, so here, you can just rip all those off and go. This doesn't save a lot of time, but it just saves a bit if you sort of swing around here, and there you go. You can just swing around the wall without grabbing. If you catch it right and you jump, which I wasn't going to, because sometimes if I jump, I miss. And then I look like a fool. You know, I mean, I'm a grown man playing with a morph-like creature dressed as a sperm dude carrying mattresses around, so that's... everything's all relative. You might want to... I go over that rock because sometimes I get hung up on that corner if you try and go too close to the corner, so... Now, what I'm doing this here, you're saying, oh, all this time it's taking to drag these mattresses around. And when I first realized that you could do this, I honestly thought this was taking forever. So I thought, this can't possibly be saving me any time. Trust me, it saves a ton of time. If you do it this way, even though this mattress dragging bit may seem to take a long time, but if you do it this way, you're going to basically cut the time it takes you to do this level in half. You know, even if you mess it up a couple of times. I did it a couple of days ago, and I was just timing it to see if this really was the fastest way I could think of without doing the swing climb technique. Now, if you're comfortable with the swing climb technique, or, you know, I mean, leave a comment if you want me to make the swing climb version of the video. I don't think you'll need me to. You can find it online easy enough, or figure it out for yourself. But if you're comfortable doing the wall swing, which is like, let me just, you know, if you're comfortable doing this swing climb thing where you just climb a bit higher every time and you get your bush and you like that, see, one arm slightly higher, and if you're comfortable doing this, then, you know, you can cut so much time off these levels, it's ridiculous. But I wanted to make one without doing any of that, because virtually every video you can find, it uses every video that I've found. I haven't looked tremendously hard, but the videos that I've found, they use techniques that are really I find really quite hard to do. So on this, you know, if you're going to walk along a narrow wall, release, for me, what I have to do anyway, let go of the thumbstick, use the D-pad, and just make slight adjustments with the other stick there, and then you're good. See, because if I don't use the D-pad, if I use the thumbstick, I find that I weave all over the place. And, sorry, scratching my head again. Not a lot in it, you see. A bit of sawdust and some stuff. Right, this... oh, what am I doing? I'm going the wrong way. I'm getting ahead of myself there. That's the next pipe that I have to go that way on, so... you know, climb up that way, so... You're up on top of the gantry. Now, the thing about this level is this is one of the tricky ones in that you cut an absolute pile of time out of doing this level if you do it this way. You know, I mean, you just absolutely cut off tons and tons of time off doing this level, but it can be a bit tricky because a lot of it is walking on pipes, and it's easy to fall off these pipes. So line yourself for this for this little drop here. Line yourself upright. Get your sticky hands out and ready, and stick when you hit the pipe at the bottom so you don't fall off, because you probably will about half the time if you don't do it. And then, you know, center yourself, get your D-pad again, and I hate walking along this part. I hate this bit. Even when I'm doing it, I'm not recording. There's too much pressure, man. My heart is in my mouth all the time. I'm afraid I'm going to fall off, and then I'm going to have to start all over again. So, there we go. Yep, see, nearly fell off at the end there. So use your, you know, that's my tip anyway. Use your D-pad for that, not your thumbstick, because this jump is a little bit tricky. Sometimes it takes me a couple of goes to get it exactly right. Oh, dear. Yeah, you see, that's not exactly right. It's just a little bit Oh, that pipe there doesn't have one of those little sleeve. No! Okay, so I just cut that out because I fell off the pipe there. See, that's what can happen. Don't concentrate. You really should. What you want to do is jump just before that break in the pipe and it ends. So you can, there you go. I should be able to get up there. There we go. And we just climb over the top. Now, when you get to this bit, remember what I said before about the exits, you can, if you do it right, you can swing off this end here, round the corner and just end the game there rather than going through all this. Or, if you're feeling really brave, you can try and jump across that red bit, but I've only made that a couple of times. If you mess it up, it's not the end of the world. It just, it only costs you about 30 seconds or something, but because you just climb back up this gantry again. But so, in this one, you just want to take this yellow thing out and then drop it off the edge, smashes the glass, drop down, pull the lever. So, what I would probably have done here is I would have gone over the top there and I would have swing climb. I would have used swing climb quite a lot on this level, actually, but I haven't. Come on. Whoop. But I haven't done that because I want to show this, as I said before, for people that are not too comfortable with the swing climb. I'd have swing climbed the exit there, probably. Boosh. And then gone and done that. So, yes, I mean, I had to cut through there because, you saw me fall off the pipe there, so I had to cut back to where I was. But it's not really a problem, It took me maybe, it put me back a couple of rooms, but it took me only maybe a minute to get back to where I was. So, if you're only doing this for your speedrun achievement, that won't affect you too much. You can die. It doesn't matter. You're just supposed to... Oh! Ooh. You're just supposed to do the whole thing in one sitting, but it doesn't matter if you die. Pick up the rock. Let's do some vandalism. If we can. Oh, for God's sake. Come on, guys. This is embarrassing. There we go. Whoosh. Oh, it's a pain in the ass. See, you're always going to make those... These little mistakes that you never make. You know how this works in gameplay videos. You're always going to do this. And I'm afraid that I only have... Right, before I go out this door, if you're comfortable with the swing climb method, what you can do is you can climb this entire wall. And that's, for someone who's not that comfortable with the swing climb method, that might seem daunting, but it can be done. But since we're not doing the swing climb, we're going out this way. Now, in this room, a lot of people, they go over that way and they swing across. But again, if that sort of puts your heart in your mouth, what a lot of people don't seem to have picked up on is that you can do this, you see. Get this thing. This is, I've got my hand attached to the floor. That's embarrassing. Put that in there. Right, there you go. And then you just pick this up. Let go. Dumbass. And you just bend these bars like this. Ready? There we go. Simple as that. And then you've got a hole that's big enough to jump through. Right, now, if you've played this level, the castle run, which I'm assuming if you're doing the speed run now you probably have, you know that it can be kind of long-winded and very complicated. So what you want to do, let's wind that all the way back. What they've given us here on these levels with catapults is they've given us a very handy way to shortcut levels, but it means positioning and timing you've got to get right. So grab that at the bottom and really drag this thing. Come on, drag it around. And let's pull this thing over here. Let's probably wants to go a little bit more that way, so. Whee. Now, this can get a little bit tricky, but, it's doable. Don't worry about it. It's doable. Unlike myself. Ooh, there we go. Just make sure you don't fall off the edge. Just tug it back into the center there. Ooh, here we go. Nice and up against the side. There we go. Now, you can... the thing is you can work your way around here and try not to fall off, but it doesn't really matter if you do because it'll just drop you pretty much in the exact same spot behind the catapult, so you can do that. It's just quicker, frankly. If you don't want to swing around the thing, you can probably also go over the top of the stairs there. But right, now one of the important things is here. If you want to get extra thing, right, don't get in the bucket. Like, just extend your hand and just attach yourself to the edge of it like that. Which is, oops, I've moved the thing now. Which is good, it'll work, but you've got to be prepared. The timing can be a little bit difficult. You want to flick yourself, but you want to... What you're doing is you're turning this catapult into like a trebuchet. You'll see what I mean. Oops. Hand on the lever, release, whoosh. There you go, like that, see? Oh, hand, oh. Okay, we nearly went way off the other side there. So, you know, be careful, you know, you don't want to... Get off. You don't want to fly off the other side there. Climb up and around this mountain. Right, and what you'll see is you've cut out almost the entire level. There you go, the castle and all those tricky bits in there, you know, the blacksmith, the roof, and this shitty bit here with the windmill, and that, I can never even remember how I do that bit on the island. I've done it a couple of times and I always forget. So, let's just clamber down onto the get your grip hold ready. You know, because you don't want to slide off into oblivion before you get to where you're going. So what you want to do now is kind of get to this bit here. And get a grip on the floor here somewhere, walk off the end, and then just grip lower down so you've got a grip. I've seen people do this so quickly, but whenever I've tried to do it fast, I've messed it up. So I'm just going to take it nice and easy, you know. You're not in too much of a rush. If you're only trying to get your speedrun achievement, you just need to do it in one sitting. There's no need to break any world records. You're just not going to beat the PC guys at this anyway. Just take my word for it. There's just no way that's going to happen. So, you know, swing top of the castle, that way you cut out that drawbridge and the catapult bit as well, and then you just climb or jump through the top, and there you go, you're standing on a trapdoor. Master Luke, you're standing on... There you go. Whoosh. And down goes Sperm Bob. Oh, that's... Pretend I didn't say that. So here he goes. What level is next? It's water, I believe. Boosh. You might want to, you know, when you make this drop, just grab with your hands like that. So now, let's just restart this level because I messed it up. But so I know I'm standing around, we're costing time, but don't be intimidated by this level and all the water, because it's not quite as scary in places as it needs to be. So like here, you can just, you know, jump about there, and you've got a certain amount of time before you drown. So just start jumping as soon as you think you're high enough for him to just clear his head out of the water, you know, to take a breath. So, you know, you've got to go up the water wheel and go to there, but you can't do that until the water wheel's moving. You probably could if you were a super-duper climber, but if you're not, then you need to go this way. Saving. Now, if I was doing the swing climb method, what I would do here is to climb up this wall, because, you know, I'd swing climb up the wall, because this next bit can be a bit tricky. You might have to do it a couple of times before you get it right, but it doesn't matter. As I've said before, for your speedrun achievement, it's not making any difference. You can die, it's fine. You can die as many times as you like. But what you want to do, jump in, stay close to this stone wall. You know, you'll go under the water a couple of times, but stay close to the wall, and as soon as you think you can, jump and get some air before this next bit. So, you know, run round the corner, jump. There you go. Keep his head out of the water, and then go through this gap here. You can just walk this bit. You don't need to keep jumping. You can jump if it, you know, if it makes you nervous, you can jump, but you don't need to. You can just walk across there. Oops. Right, since I've restarted this and you didn't see, right, I'll tell you in a second what it is about this. Ooh. Oh dear, really messed this up. I usually do this in one swing, but that last mess up that I just made when I restarted made me nervous. Even though that wasn't the bit that I messed up, actually. The bit that I messed up. I've never, ever missed this jump before. I jumped onto the cable car and missed because I left it too long. Now, I've never missed that before, but of course, when you're making a gaming video, you're going to make a fool of yourself. So, you know, jump. pull yourself up onto the cable car. If you can, which apparently my guy doesn't want to. But, you know, doesn't matter. If you can't, just hang there. You've got to get off it in a second anyway. Doesn't really matter. You can, if I just release that hand and slide back a bit, you can probably climb up just fine, you see. But doesn't matter if you can't. So, you know, as you know, because you've done this level before, you have to get this and hook it over the back of your motor. Come on, mate. Bloody hell. So, okay. And then, you know, set that going and then jump over this thing before you get hit by a block. Now, you can't, there's no reason in the world. A lot of people, right, instead of doing all that, what they'll do is they'll climb up here. I'm just showing you this. Well, this is not what we're going to do, but they'll climb up here, right, and I've seen these guys, and they will walk down that thing. Well, you know, I mean, I fell off a pipe that was like twice the width that my guy is, so there's no way that I'm ever walking down that. I've tried it a couple of times and failed, and before realizing there's no way I was ever going to do it. So, but the inflatable orange thing over there, there's no reason in the world why you need that. Just jump off. You know, your head's above water almost the whole way down. It's, you know, there's no reason that you need the raft. Just plumb it down, let the water carry you. And you can do that as soon as you've released the chain thing. So then, whee! Come on, up you climb. Whee! There we go, over there. And then you just open the thing here. Push. Whee! And yeah. You know the PC players, I see them, they doing this jumpy skip thing. And it, whee! Sploosh. Worked better that time than it normally does. Of course, because I was saying that it couldn't be done, so of course that's when I'm going to do it. So next we're going to have the power plant level, yeah. Bing! Oh, see? Look at that. Face plant right into a block. Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you've been pulling out these wires, you know, you can just jam this bar into this. I'm not going to do it. No, we're trying to do this quickly. I'm not going to, but you can just jam that bar between the fan and the bar and that stops it. But I don't know why you wouldn't just... Oh, right. What you do need to do actually here, sorry, I almost went and forgot it there. So you see that fan? You see that fan up there? What you want is that out of the wall. So the best and quickest way to do that is to pull out this red cable and plug it into here. Plug, so you've got two red cables and you'll get electrocuted. Boom. But the fan gets blown out. You'll see why I did that in just a moment. So go through here. No need to mess about with the wires. This is a piece of cake to jump over the top of this thing. There you go. Straight over the top. Sorry, I had to think there for a moment what I was doing, because if you are comfortable with the swing climb technique, you know, I said I wasn't going to do it, but if you're comfortable with the swing climb technique, there's no reason for you to come into this room. You just walk along that wall. I'll show you when we get to the other side, because daylights are wasting. You know? Obviously, my run through this is going to take probably longer than yours will, because there's no reason for you to take the length of time that I do to do these things. Okay, so that's going to open. So if you're doing the swing climb technique, instead of coming into that room we've just been in, what you do is jump on top of that wall that I jumped on top of to get there, walk along there to there, and then jump up and swing climb up that wall to the top. And in a minute you'll see why. But we're not going to do that, because we're not doing the swing climb technique, even though it would be quicker. So this is what you blew the fan out for, so you don't have to disconnect that battery and bring it. I mean, you can, but this thing's heavy as hell, and if you just blow the fan out, it's quicker, I think. So you know, so far, so good. So far as normal, you just switch that thing on, and then jump onto this thing. I find sometimes if you keep holding onto this with both hands, you get your hand trapped. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes it happens. So it's just easy to just let go with one hand. So then you can turn around and you're going to leap to this shelf here. Right, now this box, don't move it off this shelf. Just going to move to here. Now, you see this maneuver I'm about to do? Normally, what I do is I swing climb on the power plant level up that wall next to that fan hole. You're a fan hole! So this box maneuver that I'm about to show you, I'm really praying will work, because I've only done it once, because I was trying to find a way to do it without swing climbing. So I've only done this maneuver once. So if I miss this, please forgive me. I need it. There you go. Okay. So once you've got one arm up there, it's relatively straightforward to get the other. Just pull yourself up. Yeah, so there you go. I've only done that box maneuver twice, ever. I never saw anybody else use this method. I've only done that so that we could avoid the swing climb. I've only done it twice, and I've made it twice, so, you know, it can't be that difficult if I can do it 2 out of 2 times. So then you just go off the end here, and you basically missed out the whole level. And you jump out. Right, now, anybody who's done this level before with the power, the boilers and the bits of coal, trying to get these things up and running, taking your little truck there all the way down that road, oh man, that takes forever. And it's to get these fans going so that they can blow you through there, into that chimney there, and then from that chimney into the final chimney, across that ledge and round to the exit, okay? But you don't need to do that, because if you just explore a little bit and go round this corner, you will see that is entirely unnecessary. Because here is one with a big fan going, and there's a big ass hole in it. Now, this should put you straight to the exit, but I must warn you, you probably won't get... I got this right first time, and I thought, that's easy. Then I came back and tried to do it for the speedrun and figure out the best speedrun routes, and I messed it up maybe 5-6 times before I got the angle right. So it can be difficult to get the angle of this right, so forgive me if I miss it. But you're going to stand here, aim yourself at the pin in the middle there, and then, you know, whoosh, up you go. So that's, hopefully I've got this angle right, but I don't think so. Look, I've overshot. Yep, overshot the thing. So I don't really even know what we're going to do now. Probably load a checkpoint. There you go. Yeah, so the angle is kind of difficult to get right. So what I'll do is I'll speed on past all this. If you look at anybody online that tells you they've done this speedrun thing, they will sort of mention this chimney thing a few times, and they'll say, oh, well, you know, it takes a little bit of time to get the angle right, but you'll basically do it just fine. It's not a problem. Oh, there we go. Clattered against the side. Wasn't exactly all net, was it? But we got there in the end. I think that was 5 times. I think. Check me on that, future me. Jolly good. So, yeah, obviously. Now we're going to do the Aztec level, which... the Aztec levels can be a bit of a pain. And what the way to do the Aztec level that I'm going to show you will look like it's more trouble than it's worth. But trust me, once again, just like the dragging the mattress thing and going down the blue pipe and the demolition level, it does save a bunch of time. So grab this little pickup stick here. Get it out from under this wall. There you go. Take it with you. Drag it underneath this thing. I've seen people putting bricks underneath this to get more leverage, which is what I did the first time I did this. But what I realised very quickly was it's totally unnecessary. Look, you really just don't need to do that at all. Just I'll put that there. So this, we're going to take the stick. Now, as I mentioned, if anybody is actually watching this, wants to see me do a speedrun with the wall climbs, I can do that for you. I can make another video if somebody requests it. I don't see why. You can pretty much, if you're comfortable with the climbs, I've tried to show you everywhere where you can or should swing climb in this. Now, for example, what there is here, if you look, that wall is actually not that wide, and what I normally do if I'm doing this is I'll swing around that wall. It takes a couple of swings and it can be a bit awkward, but if you're comfortable with the swing climb, it's really not all that difficult to swing around that wall. And if you time it right and jump before and get a bit of momentum as you swing, you can pretty much clear it almost in one anyway. But since I said we're not going to do the swing climbs, that's just letting you know that if you want to do the swing climb where you can do it. So we got this in here anyway, and just jimmy this door open. Boosh. I've no idea, by the way, whether this is the right way you're supposed to do these puzzles. I assume so. This is just, these have just been, that's my solution to the puzzles. I think that's probably open wide enough, but just in case. There we go. That should be wide enough now. You can probably just walk through that. Yep, there you go. No problem at all. Right, now, I should warn you that what I'm about to do here will look like a massive pain, and you'll think there's no way that that's quicker. Trust me, it is. Now, once again, for future reference, if you're comfortable with the swing climb, the thing to do at this point is to swing climb up that wall. Okay? If you swing climb up that wall and use this method and swing around that wall onto this level that I showed you back there, and then swing climb up this bit, you can actually get this entire level done in like, it's about 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, something like that, I think. Doing it this way, I think it took me about 9 minutes or something. So, you know, make that one, so that's what we do, we make that one go down. This, again, there's a couple of bits in this that can be a little bit tricky to get right, so forgive me if I've skipped, you know. Obviously, if you're not actually making a video that other people will see, you'll probably get it right first time. But we run across, jump that, oh, balls. But since I am making a video, I mean, that's not fair. I haven't done that first time every time. That jump I've been through this level like maybe 7 or 8 times, I guess, trying to figure out different ways of doing these things. And I guess I've probably missed that jump. I guess if I'd done this 7 or 8 times, I probably missed that jump about 3 times before. But I, you know, obviously knew that I would miss it this time. It probably won't be the last time either. I'll probably miss it again. Oh, yeah. Well, I will if I do that, won't I? You stupid, stupid idiot. Come on, down you go. So, here we go, back up to the top. Whoosh. There we go. We did it this time. We did it this time. Right, grab this brick and just boom. Bring it on down. Oops. Use the thing, get in the cage. Pull yourself up, get the cage all the way down to the floor. Boom. Right. Remember I said be warned, because once we start getting onto the steps, you're going to say, this is way too much trouble. But it isn't. It really does save a bunch of time. So when you put that block there, put it right up against that corner edge. As far as you can that way, and as far as you can into the corner there. So you'll see why in a minute. Again, this is just my way. If you can find a better way online to do this sort of quicker without wall swinging, then, you know, by all means do it that way. I couldn't find a way to do that, but I don't have an awful lot of patience for searching through YouTube gaming videos forever. You know, I'll watch loads of them, and I'll watch the funny ones. You know, if someone's really funny, I can watch them time and time again. But If you're just watching someone to put some music or something over, I don't have a lot of patience for watching too many of those. So obviously the cages are rising and falling more slowly because now there's weight in the other cage as well. And the weight in the other cage is almost as much as I weigh. So as soon as you start moving, that's going to start dropping. So you've got to get there fast. So get your arms out, ready to grab that box, run across, grab it, and pull. There we go. Okay. Drop the box. There's different ways to do this. You could probably just lift that up onto the other step. No, yeah, there's a gap there actually, so that's probably what I'll do, thinking about it. Because you see the gap there between the cage and the wall? I've gotten stuck in there quite a few times. So you know, stick one arm, stick like whichever, I don't know, I have no sort of prejudice against left-handed people. If you want to use your left arm or your right hand, stick one and then just pull that up, pull the block up. Oh, piss. Try not to do that. But you probably will. So pull that block up there. So, you know, I mean, by now, I guess you can see where I'm going with this. So we're getting the block so that we don't have to climb up that massive gap there. So you get up here, do the same thing again. You got this block here. Oh. Jump across, pull the block. Come on, baby. Come on. You know you want it. Come on. I can't believe what the hell am I doing? Pull it, pull. This absolutely does seem like a really long-winded and difficult way to do this, but it isn't. Trust me, I've tried other ways. This is the one. Like I said, if you think you've got a better way or whatever, you can, by all means, you know, put it in the comments section. You know, do whatever, say, well, that's just stupid. You wasted a bunch of time. You could have just done this. But it must not include swing climbing up a wall, because that's, you know, I can do that. That's what I'm trying to avoid. So then you climb on top of this thing, and you're up here. I mean, you know, if you're not speedrunning, you don't want to skip the Aztec level, because it's, you know, it's got all sorts of interesting bits in it, and what have you. There's no, you know, got all these interesting swingy pendulum things. So don't, you know, when you get to that bit, go to the right. You don't go to the left because you'll have to jump over a bunch of stuff. It's not that it's difficult to jump over, but it's just quicker if you just walk around this way. Now you see there on the end of that contraption there's a grey door, like a cantilevered thing there. Like a pulley thing. Now, I've seen people go and lift up that door and get out that way, but it isn't necessary. If you're on that level, obviously that's the choice that you've got. I mean, there's a puzzle thing, but you can actually just lift it with your guy and go underneath. It just takes a bit of time. But a quicker way is just to do this. Whee! Boom. There you go. And when you do that, your speedrun achievement should just pop. And you'll get it. Mine won't because, you know, I did it earlier and I haven't, like, in fact, I don't even know. Can you reset your achievements? I don't know. If you can, I don't know how. This, actually, by the way, I love this thing because it's one of the great things about it. This credits section is just epic. And if you do it right, you can kind of, if you go all the way back to the start and the beginning of the thing, you can grab a letter as you go by the last bit and just kind of use it because they tumble really slowly. You can use it to parachute down, and then the trapdoor opens again for you to restart the game, and you can use it to parachute through there for a second. But okay, but other than that, let's just... why have I let go, but it hasn't let go of the E thing? That's weird. So, it's all gone tits up. Something's glitched and got stuck. I'm stuck to this E, and I can't let go. Well, that's ecstasy for you. Once you pop, you can't stop. That's probably an inappropriate remark. So, that's a way of doing it. If you want me to make one with the swing climbs, I can do that for you, but since I pointed out most of the places you can swing climb, you know, if you can do that, I'm pretty sure you can figure this out for yourself. It's not entirely necessary anyway, but hopefully I'll be back with some more videos later on. I'm definitely going to do a series of gameplay videos. I'm going to play through the whole of like Red Dead 2, and I'm going to play through Crackdown 3, I hope, but Red Dead 2 definitely. So when that's coming in, I don't know. There might be a release date for it. If you've got any better ideas for the ways that I did things, you think there was an easier way to get to a certain point without swing climbing, by all means, leave a comment down below, and like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye now.